All right, let's start with the big story that we're tracking at this hour, where there's been yet another twist in the story behind the death of senior Congress leader Shashi Tharoor's wife, Sunanda Pushkar. Now, an exclusive report that's appeared in the Daily DNA says that Delhi police have evidence to prove that Pushkar was actually murdered. Now, the new report questions the autopsy report that Pushkar died of an overdose of antidepressant drugs. The DNA report also states that the first police report and also the inquest clearly stated that it was not a case of suicide. It says that a concrete probe should have been conducted to prove whether the drugs were orally given or injected forcefully. Now, the report also questions the delay in registering a case even when the Delhi police had evidence to show that Pushkar's death was not natural. Now, the report also further states that the body of Sunanda Pushkar had various scuffle marks allegedly to have been caused due to a scuffle. Now, as per a statement by Tharoor's personal attendant Narayan Singh, the police believe that the marks were actually caused due to a scuffle between the Congress MP and his wife. Now, the autopsy report stated, and I quote, "The cause of the death, to the best of my knowledge and belief in this case, is poisoning. The circumstantial evidence are suggestive of alprazolam poisoning, and all the injuries mentioned are caused by blunt force, simple in nature, non-contributing to death, and are produced in scuffle, except for injury number 10, which is that of an injection mark. The injury number 12 is a teeth bite mark. The injuries number 1 to 15 is of various durations ranging from 12 hours to 4 days. Now, the report has further stated that the injection mark were fresh. The Sunanda Pushkar was found dead in a hotel room at New Delhi on the 17th of January in 2014. Shashi Tharoor had publicly affirmed that he will cooperate with the investigation in this case. All right, now for more on this, we are joined in by our political affairs editor Kartikeya Sharma from the newsroom. Kartikeya, it is a bit of an explosive bit of news, if that is how you would put it, that the Delhi police were in the know from day one that this was a case of murder.
See, there are two things here. One is that he says that there were injuries marked, but they were non-contributing to death. Okay. And they're producing scuffle, and it goes on to say that our colleague Sumit Kumar Singh, whose report it is in the DNA Assist publication, says there were 10 injury marks. And there were a number of teeth marks, and I distinctly remember those photographs also were available at that point of time and were widely shared in media. The injury marks were there, blue marks were there, the purple marks were there.
Right.
Now, purple marks, blue marks means blunt force injury. Purple can be suggestive towards poisoning. Now, the report says that earlier on the circumstantial evidence suggests to alprazolam poisoning. Now, there are a couple of things associated. When you put a poison gets metabolized. So it's very difficult to know what was the original composition of the poison. That's the way the nature of poison is. For example, the poisoning which has taken place in England, the government has only been able to say it's a nerve gas agent, but they have not been able to classify it.
Absolutely.
So that's a very tough task. But what is revealing here is, in this report, that Vasant Vihar SDM Alok Sharma, who inspected the scene of crime and conducted inquiry proceedings, was of the view that it was not a suicide, and say the report prepared by the Deputy Commissioner of Police, B.S. Jamwal. So initially, prima facie, the person who went to the spot said that it's not suicide, it's murder. Now, not satisfied with the inquest proceeding at that point of time, the SDM ordered the Sarojini Nagar SHO to investigate the case, and that of murder, says the report accessed exclusively by DNA. Now, that report has been accessed. It's a letter, that's the report of B.S. Jaiswal, and that's the important part. And that says that there was an earlier version which said that it was not a suicide, it's a murder. So, which means that the two versions, which means that the earlier officer believed that it was a case of murder. So, it opens up a lot of questions, it reopens the debate. And I think that's where the story is here. It has completely reopened the Sunanda Pushkar debate again.
Absolutely indeed, Kartikeya. Now, this is actually laying the blame for botching up the probe clearly at the doorstep of the Delhi police. Was it political pressure that perhaps made the Delhi police to actually go slow and botch up this entire investigation from day one?
Well, I would say I won't impute motive, but the fact of the matter is that this letter has come, and the letter clearly says that the earlier officer was of the view that it was a case of murder and not suicide.
Right.
And prima facie is arguing for it. But I think the important part here is, it says that the report says that the crime branch had also visited the crime scene. The decision then the Commissioner of Police Bassi led to the delay in registration of an FIR for a year, an investigation for almost 2 years. So why did the delay of FIR took place? You know, these are the questions that are again in public domain. A lot of people have questioned. Now, there were a lot of SMSs, a lot of conversation, a lot of journalists were questioned on it. So the bottom line here is that will those reinvestigations, will those points be taken up again by the police? Is it for real or is it a vendetta? You know, these are part of the, this is part of the
Absolutely.
discourse. But the fact of the matter is that the letter reopens this debate once for all.
Absolutely indeed, Karthikeya. We'll have to leave it there. It is the Delhi police which will have to do a lot of answering in terms of why did it in several ways botch up the investigation right from day one.